Good morning, another beautiful day in God's kingdom. Today we happen to come upon a passage that we find in the book of 1 Chronicles chapter 4, and we're reading verse 10. We can even back up actually to verse 9, and let's see what the Bible says here. It says, There was a man named Jabez who was more honorable than any of his brothers. His mother named him Jabez because his birth had been so painful. He was the one who prayed to the God of Israel and said, Oh, that you would bless me and expand my territory. Please be with me in all that I do and keep me from all trouble and pain. And God granted him his request. And as we take a look at this prayer, you find Jabez asking this question of God, coming to him, and the Bible says that he had a name that meant sorrow, a name that depicted the circumstances of his birth, but he refused to be defined by that name. And he says he came to God and says, God, basically change my story, change my history, change my story. And God answered him. And that gives us the confidence as well that look, it doesn't matter how we were born, the circumstances of our birth or the circumstances of our present. If it is something that's undesirable, we can come to God and we can cry out to God for help. But apart from his crying out to God for God to transform his situation and to change his story, is the fact that he came to God with some very specific requests. And he asked God, he says, God, I want you to bless me. I want you to expand my territory. I want you to increase my sphere of influence. I want you to increase my capacity, and he was very definite about the prayers that he was asking. And it's something that we can pick up as well. Do you want God to bless you? Then why don't you speak and be specific? Do you want God to, enlarge you? Why don't you speak and be specific about what you want God to do? Sometimes I think that for us as believers, we come to God with so little requests, or we think that God is just going to, maybe choose a person and bless a person in a particular way. But we haven't got, the Bible says that we don't have because we don't ask. And when we ask wrongly as well. But that's a story for another day. But let's focus on what Jabez has done here. He has been come to God with very specific requests. He has identified what his problem is, what he perceives his problems to be, and he comes to God with specific requests. And God honors him and answers him and grants him his request. So let's be bold and come to God with our requests as well. And let's see what God will do. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.